Hey, everybody. This is going to be a video log of this Minecraft world that I've been working on and off for about 4 or 5 years now. It's all been in creative mode, so, nothing too impressive that way. But I'd like to just kind of keep track of it and log it, and if this gets any traction or anybody wants to see more, I can always do progress videos and kind of work on building stuff on stream or on video. So, start here. This is as far as the road's gotten outside of my main town, which is that way. This mountain range hillside thing is all in progress. There's a lot of stuff that's in progress still, so it's not all polished. This has all been done by me, pretty much solo. So whenever I get time, I work on it. But yeah, this is it's trying to cover up the savanna biome behind it. Eventually, my plan is to have all this be a forest with custom trees, but obviously that takes some time. So right now we've got a couple here, kind of to set the stage and kind of give myself a little bit of completion. This is like, I was thinking when I built this like a ranger's house or a ranger's hut type thing where some guy lives out in solitude in the forest outside of the town and kind of keeps to himself. He has his own little tool shed here. He has little stables with a horse, and then a well, like I said, self-sustaining, and then in this little like grove thing, he's got a archery range, where he trains more rangers, or he practices himself, whatever. Yeah, one common theme throughout this place is a lot of my interiors are empty. So this house is actually empty, it's just the facade, the outside, and that's just because I like doing the outside better. Again, completion kind of gives me a sense of actually making progress. If the outsides are done, there's actually buildings, but insides or whatever. So now we're going to go up over this hill. You can see the windmill kind of there. Again, I kind of terraformed all this by hand. I haven't used any mods or anything that way, just because it's something to do and it's kind of cool. But this little pass is the main entrance into the city, and then this is my city. So yeah, like I said, windmill over here. I think it's empty on the inside. I'm not sure. I built this years ago. I know it's got some stuff on the inside. Little windmill type thing, kind of cool. Yeah, there's so much time and effort put into this. There's a lot of little nooks and crannies that I've tried to create. These wheat fields are kind of cool. You can kind of see the progress of the Minecraft updates too, because over here was a later addition onto the city, and it was a villager inspired town where I actually had villagers here when the villager update came out, and they changed those mechanics around. So this was actually full of villagers at one point. Let me get an aerial shot for you. It's just a couple buildings around a little lake pond thing, kind of neat. There's a savanna biome that you can see. This mountain eventually will wrap around here, but that's a lot of tedious work. It's going to take a lot of time. This up here is kind of neat. It's a little hill that was here, and then I put a stream, a little fountain coming out of there. It's the source to go into this this lake, because I think this lake was here, and I wanted to kind of tie it all together and have a little bridge to kind of separate this from the main town. Yeah, segregation. So yeah, let's go back to the main road. Pretty much all the trees you see in the town are custom built by hand, just time and effort. I tried to make all these roads kind of tight and neat, based off of a kind of a Western European style. Not an expert on any of that, obviously, but I think it looks cool, and that's kind of what my whole gist is going off of. So here the road forks. Here's a little pond, kind of neat. I really like this shader with the pond stuff, the water. It's very neat. So yeah, I think, let's see if these interiors are done. This was like an inn kind of tavern idea, just as like a entrance into the town. Maybe villagers or passers would stop here, or travelers would stop here to kind of spend the night, or if they're just passing through. This is the market area. I want to do more of this, like a bigger market area somewhere for a town this big, but this was built a long time ago, so kind of needs a little bit of updating. But you can see each of the different vendors has a different theme or a different product they're selling. So that's kind of neat. Yeah, that guy's a pig, I guess. Let's get an aerial overview of this little square. I really like the way the shop stalls came out. They look really neat, especially with the circular thing. Again, you know, 2020 hindsight, this would be bigger, but I didn't realize this project would get this big. Going up here, little fountain, kind of like a transition area into the farmland. Didn't want to just be harsh buildings and then farmland. More kind of like upper class, taller structures over here. Yeah, so let's go over here, continue on. This is a cool little area, kind of like trying to figure out how to end the city, kind of make a boundary. This building's really neat. Kind of has its own little yard thing. Maybe a trader or a higher up, like a wealthier person lives here, has a gate on the outside. And then this is something that I kind of put here that I wanted to incorporate other places but haven't yet. It's a little like cellar basement coming from the outside, which I thought was kind of neat, kind of clever. Yeah, I think this interior is somewhat done. Yeah, we've got a little table and some a kitchenette type thing. It's kind of tough in vanilla Minecraft to get really cool interiors, but you know, if that's something that people want to see more of, I can again work on that in future videos, or you know, make progress on that and kind of show that off in the future. I tried to maintain this tight-knit street thing, kind of a medieval European town. That was my intention. Some places it came out better than others. Like this street's kind of neat, but this area kind of opens it up a little bit. This is a bigger blacksmith, toolsmith maybe. So he has an outdoor forge. Again, the interiors are not done. But he's got kind of maybe the toolsmith for the farm. Maybe this is a good spot for that. This is a dead end over here with a little warehouse. I have a couple warehouses around the town just because I feel like that's something that should be in a town. Yeah, so this is that street. You can see it right here. It goes that way and then kind of ends out over here. Eventually the town will go through here. That is planned. It's just not been done yet. So let's continue on back this way as it gets dark. You know what, we'll do some zigzags around the city to kind of show off as much as I possibly can here without repeating myself. So back to the main entrance here, we'll take the other exit on the Y. So this is the other side of that street that we just went on. Going through here, again, warehouses. This one has an interior, but this is kind of my intention with the warehouses, is just kind of fill them up like they're maybe privately owned or like for a company or something. This is the other side of that pond. Maybe just it was there and nobody wanted to fill it in when they arrived and started settling. We have these wagons kind of placed around, kind of neat design, really simple, but definitely shows a wagon with vanilla Minecraft as much as you can. This is the stables, or a stable for the city. Again, maybe travelers coming through would house their horses here for the night and then kind of live, or as they're passing by. This little house is a stone cutter. I tried to make this look like a workshop area, kind of in use as they're cutting stones for bricks and stuff for roads and buildings. Another warehouse. This building here, I intended, when I first started building, there was no castle. I didn't build a castle. This came first. This was my idea of a castle. I don't remember what it was inspired by. I think I was watching some medieval show, and I kind of liked the idea of the towers being suspended on the side of the building like this, like tapered down. So I tried to capture that style with this, and I think I liked it. And then I decided to build a bigger castle. So I kind of had to work this into the story here, and my idea for this is maybe this was the original keep of the original lord that started this town, and as the town grew and got bigger, maybe a bigger lord kind of moved in, or maybe he got rich enough to build his own like large fortress. So this is just kind of here as a maybe a town watch barracks now, or just a symbol of power for the town. But yeah, I really like how this building came out. It's kind of neat. It's very Normandy-esque, Norman castle. It's got a little bit of an interior, kind of sectioned off rooms here. Nice little, like, small, intricate building structure with a spiral staircase going up. I really like the interior of this building. Yeah. It's all empty, of course, because I'm lazy. But, yeah, so let's go back outside. Oops. Okay, so from here, we will continue into the western city. Some roads. Going this way is towards the edge, towards the road out of the city, towards my other large city that I've worked on. Intentionally, I've made it so this wall kind of blocks your view from what's over that way, just so you can feel kind of immersed into this town. Again, I built this all without world edit or anything, so the biomes that's something I've been struggling around, and I know that's something I could easily fix, but I don't know, it's kind of formed the world the way it is and kind of made it made world borders and stuff, and kind of given me a natural border to the city so it doesn't just keep expanding into oblivion. More fields out here. This one's a dead, kind of like maybe a crop rotation. This one's the off field for the season. Got a nice lilac flower field, which I thought was kind of neat. I want to incorporate more flower fields. Just need to figure out where to place them. Eventually all this will have some more life to it, maybe some rocks and boulders or trees just kind of scattered throughout to give it some field not so empty and neglected. Little bee field, you can see the bee update came out and I built this field. Incorporate some bees. These guys have been here for years working. So, there they go. So yeah, we'll go that way another time, or later. We'll come through this way again. Come back around. This is the beekeeper's farm house, whatever. Maybe this is his actual house, and then that's his warehouse or his barn that he keeps his tools in. This is a flower shop, just noted by that. Kind of a neat little retail store. I kind of spent a little time on this one. I don't know. Got a little bug. This would be where the shopkeeper lives, and then down here would be their shop. Back out this way has a little greenhouse to grow his flowers and his stuff to sell in the shop. And this is one of the few buildings that has like a backyard external building like that's like obviously connected to it, so that's kind of neat. Going this way, and I think this one's empty, but yeah, it's just kind of maybe a shopping district since it's towards the front of the town. This is a little pumpkin farmer, maybe pumpkin seller, sells gourds, has his own little garden here that kind of wraps around the building. It's kind of neat. I try to place as many barrels and crates around the city streets to kind of make it feel lived in, make it feel like there's people doing stuff here kind of daily, you know, moving materials around, kind of littering the street, whatever. This is another edge, so we just came from over here. The greenhouse is right here. Let me give you an overview of that because I really like how that kind of looks. Kind of a neat building. Obviously, greenhouses in medieval times were probably not existent. I'm not sure, but I kind of liked it, so kind of incorporated it and also covered it up, made it nice and grown over. This road here comes through this way. This is like a little nature path through here. Just as like a nice little... Again, I was trying to make a border for the town, a natural border, instead of just like abruptly stopping, no buildings, and then just flat Minecraft terrain. This little building, this is like a richer person's house. They have their own garden. Empty, of course. That'll be a common theme. Back this way, this is like maybe a animal husbandry. You know, they have a couple little animals here. Maybe they sell these animals, or they hold them here for a market sale or something. There's that thought behind that guy. Keep walking this way. Just, like you can see, I tried to make the borders as natural looking as possible, but kind of nice and like overgrown and make it feel not so Minecrafty. This is obviously an edge of the town, so this is a natural border. Let's go back this way, actually. Sorry for being jerky around here. It's just a lot to show and kind of a lot to think about as I'm going through. Let's go back here. Back to the pumpkin farmer's house. So instead of taking a left up here at this street. So taking that left, we'll go right. This is my first little church that I built here. I think it came out really nice. It's just kind of a quaint little, you know, small church. Maybe you know, your neighborhood church. Got some stained glass, so it's not super wealthy, but it shows it's a religious building. It's got a nice little lectern there. Go up, there's a bell in the bell tower. It's just kind of little small builds, micro builds, I think are what makes something like this kind of neat. So let's keep going this way. Back towards the entrance of the town, warehouses. I tried to also incorporate elevation into this because that's something that in the past I've struggled with. It's just like flat structures and like flat cities are kind of boring to me. Natural, like realistic cities, they're all built up on hills and like mountainsides and stuff. So I tried to keep that kind of to make this feel a little bit more realistic or a little bit more lived in. This is a little pig farmer just in the middle of the town. This is actually some of the earliest builds, so a lot of this is older and could probably use some updating. Like I said, some of these do have interiors. This is kind of a cool little building. Got like a study bedroom up here, and then down here is their living quarters, kind of lowered down to the ground a little bit. Yeah, this is the other side of the pumpkin farmer's house. Going back through here, this is the stables. Try to keep up. I know it's kind of confusing, kind of a lot. This is a little dead end, lower. So the market's up there, and this is all lower area. Again, lots of little like side streets and break-offs and stuff to kind of incorporate that. The intention is to make you feel lost, to get lost in the city if you were to walk through it. Obviously, I fly around it, so it's a little easier. But you can just see like how many buildings there are, and the scale of this is kind of intentional to make you feel lost when you're walking through it. Alright, so continuing on this way, we'll go visit the first house on the world. This is all very early, kind of have these little gardens. I really like the idea of incorporating little gardens outside, because medieval people would obviously have to grow their own food. Harder to go to the supermarket and buy stuff, so have their own food supply and kind of like their own little gardens that they would be able to grow some of their produce in. So this is the first house that I built. The story here was I was talking to a friend from college, and he was asking me for some tips on building, and like his issue was he was saying he wasn't creative enough, which, you know, obviously everybody thinks that. It's just you gotta practice and kind of whenever you come up with an idea, it's just like don't write it off. But anyway, we built this house together and kind of like worked on designs and messed with blocks, and I kind of tried to help him out that way. And then he didn't want to continue. He got busy, whatever. And I liked the house, and I liked the map I had, the seed, so I was like, screw it, I'll work on it on my own. And that's kind of where I ended up here. I built it next to this little pond on purpose. Starting back at this pond here. Again, all these trees are custom built. You can tell some of these are older because I built them a little bigger before I got some other designs. I really like the water texture with the shader. I already said that. Okay, so from this original house, if you could look that way, that's the market. So that's towards the entrance from where we came from. Continuing through the city is this way. This is empty. So these are empty. Some of them do have chimneys or like stoves in there to mimic the chimneys. I really like the again, it makes it look lived in with all the chimneys coming up with smoke billowing out. I love that addition to this game. More warehouses. Just kind of wandering through. This building's really neat. This pink one. This is when I spent a lot of time on the interior. I don't know why. I decided we need a bakery. So this is the baker's like office, or not office, sorry, his store. He's got the bread out cooling and the pies out, you know, maybe just took them out of the oven. And then in here is like a little waiting room, or maybe his lower like relaxation area, break room type thing. And then up here is where he would live, you know, so it's nice and furnished, and it's really tight and cozy, and it's the second floor tower of this building. It's got two entrances, one for his shop and one for the actual tower. But that's something that I think adds a lot to builds like this, is having intention behind the rooms and stuff, because like this is obviously not in a just regular rectangular building. It's got like a weird tower off the side, but it really works with the structure. This one's a cool one as well. This is like a flag shop or like a banner shop. Maybe they make textiles. So obviously this is the shop area, and then back here is where they would live and they kind of work. So maybe it's just like a cottage industry kind of build. Yeah, and this way over here, this is like an inn. I think was the intention, is having an inn or maybe like a guild hall or something. It's a bigger building with maybe a little bit more importance. It has a second floor that you go up to on the outside. So kind of wrap around this one.